Alrighty, welcome back right now here into this live coverage. Well, we have some breaking news. This is an immediate live coverage right now. We are here and we are tracking the severe weather threat that is continuing on right now in the south. And this is some breaking news. We actually do have Jackson, Mississippi, and now we actually have an observed tornado right now in Jackson, Mississippi. This is a very dangerous situation here. Right now, and I want to bring that up right now. We do actually have a tornado warning that is right now actually heading for Jackson. This is a major issue right now. So an hour and 2 minutes remaining in this one. Jackson, brand new tornado warning. We have a couple observed tornadoes that we want to go through here. Right now, the Jackson tornado warning, though, right now is observed. So this is getting pretty intense here, that we have a lot to pay attention to very closely here. But let's take a look at that velocity signature, kind of see what we're dealing with here. Not a clear rotation at all on really most of these warnings here, but Jackson, right now you are under a tornado warning with a tornado on the ground. And if we take a look right here, there is a tornado right now on the ground, and this is headed to the east. So let's pay attention to this one closely here. So breaking right now, we actually have a tornado on the ground. Like, this is probably going to be a considerable threat here. We're going to want to pay attention to that very closely here. So if you do have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat below. But we do have an observed tornado warning. We have two observed tornado warnings, it seems. So let me get this out there really quickly, though. So welcome into the stream. If you're just tuning in, we do have a significant tornado threat today as we head in throughout the rest of the night here. Right now, major issue going on, though, as we do have a tornado actually on the ground right now, possibly going to be heading for Jackson right now. We have a brand new tornado watch as well that has been extended here as we're seeing these severe weather threat just continue to pick up. Let me take that tornado watch off because it's kind of throwing us off a little bit here. We'll talk about that here shortly. But Jackson, you're under a tornado warning that is a observed tornado right now. We have several warnings right now that are on the ground. We have a couple. We have three. We have 4 tornado warnings right now that are tornadoes that are on the ground. Let's talk about this one down to the south, just crossing over Interstate 55, it seems. We're going to pay attention to this one closely here. This one's going to be crossing over Interstate 55. This is a tornado on the ground here. Velocity signature not showing any. It's just going to be a little hard due to the wind, and then the rain-wrapped ones will most likely be kind of the cause of this. But if we take a look at the correlation coefficient, we kind of can see there might be a little bit of a tornado on the ground there. But very, very gusty winds as well going on. An observed tornado near Brookhaven over here. That's another thing that we're paying attention to right now. Brookhaven, an observed tornado is now on the ground for you guys, or near this area right here, stretching. And we kind of can see, if we take a look here, possibly some rotation right over here over Interstate 55 south of Brookhaven, and then some rotation right over here by Wesson as well, east of I-55. So we're paying attention to that one very closely here. Then we move all the way up here, Jackson. This is our main area right here, Jackson. If you live in the city of Jackson, please be taking cover immediately. This is an immediate danger, as we have an observed tornado on the ground right now. Let me see if I could pull up this really quickly here. So an observed tornado is on the ground. Let's take a look and see if I can get the information kind of pulled up here. There was a confirmed tornado near Crystal Springs. So a confirmed tornado near Crystal Springs. So over here. So the good news is it is a little bit off to the south. But moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So let's kind of draw this out here and kind of see, what we're kind of looking at here. So 55 miles an hour, you kind of can see this is going to be more off to the south here of this, but we're going to be paying attention to it because the suburbs possibly here in the future could be impacted depending on where the storm is. And it does seem like we're getting a little bit of an update. So this might be, let's see here, let's draw it out once again, near Terry here. So near Terry, moving off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. So here you go, 59,000 people could be possibly impacted by this storm. There's flying debris, and we've been seeing that. Let's see if we can pull up the correlation coefficient and see if we see anything here on here, and it does seem like there it is. So we would see this tornado right here near Terry. So right now, Terry, you need to be under something. You need to be taking cover immediately as the storm is pushing off to the northeast right now. This will eventually make its way over here to Highway 49. The question is how strong will it be when it gets over there? But right now, Terry, you are getting hammered right now as the tornado is just off to your south here. If you take a look at the velocity, yeah, so that's kind of matching up. So that's where that tornado is right now. That's heading off to the northeast here at around a quick pace here of 55 miles an hour. So we're going to be keeping an eye out, obviously, on that very closely. There is no considerable or major threat right now, but we have several tornado warnings that are observed at this time. But our main one right now is going to be this one right here with that tornado warning that's going to be crossing over here eventually and making its way. So, and then we also have that observed tornado still going down here just south of Macomb. Here we have this area right here. Take a look at the velocity signature. I would say our rotation sitting right here and there. That's our rotation that's going to push off over here to the east, crossing over Interstate 55. So if you're traveling over Interstate 55, please be making sure you're taking precautions and cover immediately for this. But let's get back to that Jackson, that tornado warning kind of in this area right here. Taking a look at the velocity signature once again. So there's that tornado that we're paying attention to right here. There it is right there. So just east of I-55, that will be pushing off once again to the northeast. The question is, do we see any shift in its track that could possibly bring any impacts here to the Jackson suburbs? But we have some very, very dangerous conditions that we could be seeing here pretty soon, especially because we know that there is a tornado on the ground here, and we can see that with the correlation coefficient. Right here is that debris that has been seen just passing over here to the east of Terry. So we're going to make sure we keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely here as this continues on, moving off to the northeast. Very, very strong gusty winds are also coming through here, and you kind of can see that with that line. But also, Jackson, get prepared if you are in the metro area. Please be making sure you're keeping an eye out on the weather as well. Keep an eye out on the weather here. There's that strongest storm is kind of more off to the west as of right now, but we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on these areas. This is a major storm that we are paying attention to here very shortly. So very shortly here, we're going to go over the future radar here soon to see kind of who could be expecting what during the overnight hours. But right now, Jackson, you are under an observed tornado warning here. So very, very large tornado, or very, not large, but tornado has been on the ground. Correlation coefficient does seem like we got some good news here. Does seem like the correlation coefficient definitely spreading it out just maybe a little bit more over there. So something maybe there, but then right here is where that tornado is located. So we're not seeing, any clear signature anymore, but definitely still wanting to pay attention to that right now because the velocity is still kind of bringing up that rotation sitting kind of on the more northern part of that. So we're going to keep an eye obviously on that as this continues to push off to the northeast. And if you're just tuning in, let's join this back in. Let's draw this out for us here. 55 miles an hour here. You kind of can see 33,000 people are in the path of this. So if you live in Sinai, 4 minutes. Cleary, 6 minutes. Florence, 9 minutes. Plainview, 10 minutes. Monterey, 12 minutes. And Pat is 16 minutes here. So something to be paying attention to here. I know you guys can't clearly see that, but there you go. So we're paying attention to that. So near Jackson, we have a tornado now on the ground here, and we're going to pay attention to that as the signature is just continuing to want to get a little bit tighter here. So we have several warnings active at this time here. This is a very, don't usually see this a lot, but have a lot to pay attention to right now, as there is a tornado active right below Macomb here and all of that. So let's kind of just make our way here, kind of go through all these warnings. So let's start down here. We have a we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Lafayette with a no tornado possible or anything like that. This one down here does have a possible tornado here. Very strong storm kind of going through. A lot of lightning strikes here on the back end of this storm. We're going to continue to see that here very closely. Let's take a look at the velocity signature since there's a tornado possible tag. Maybe right in this region right here we could be seeing some possibility of some rotation kind of back in there. A little bit more of the rain wrapped part, or kind of, just a little bit kind of in there right there. Severe thunderstorm warning for Lafayette. No big immediate danger of any possible tornado here, but still, once again, some pretty large storms that are continuing on, but definitely weakening a lot more here. And then we head up here to these severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Tornado is possible in this severe thunderstorm warning here, especially we already are seeing that tornado warning continuing on right here just south of Macomb. We have this tornado warning, and then right now the biggest of the wind and storms are going to be crossing over the Interstate 55 here pretty shortly, in about a couple of minutes, probably 10-12 minutes. But definitely something to be paying attention to here is the rotation. Still, we have, it seems like we're having a little bit of something. We could be having this right here. That could be something to pay attention to. This could be something to pay attention to as well. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that. Let's take a look at the correlation coefficient. It does say there's an active tornado on the ground. I'm not seeing anything clear on the correlation coefficient, but definitely something that we want to keep an eye out on just in case here. Tornado warning here observed as well near Brookhaven. This is by Highway 84. We're seeing some of that. The velocity signature, maybe, a little bit of mixture, a lot of in there, but let's see if we can go to the correlation coefficient. Nothing too clear, to open up on here, not too much there. But then we head over here to the tornado warning currently right now here for Jackson. That is still an observed tornado warning that we are paying attention to very closely here. So let's keep an eye out, obviously, on that. Let's head actually to the Jackson radar, get a little bit more of a idea here. So right now, if you live in Jackson, very strong storms are right now on your doorstep and actually are heading into the western part of the city. Right now, western part of the city under getting some pretty strong storms right now. So we're keeping an eye out, obviously, on that very closely here. Excuse me. All right, so we're paying attention right now, continuing to see majority of these tornado warnings, stretching from the north to south, really. So a lot to be paying attention to. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning actually here, south of Mobile, and does have that tornado possible tag here. It does seem like the majority of the strongest storm, starting to make its way onshore here on that western side there. Taking a look at the velocity signature, we kind of can see, nothing too, really clear to the eye, but maybe something trying to form right in here, pushing up to the northeast. So that will eventually make its way inland here, and we'll keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely here, as there's tornado possible with that one. But right now we actually have some breaking news. The eastern part of Baton Rouge is now under a tornado warning. Baton Rouge is under a tornado warning. So this is a tornado warning that we want to pay attention to here for the storm that is in the eastern part of Baton Rouge here. The velocity signature, we can definitely see right here. We have breaking right now. Tornado warning has been issued for Baton Rouge right over here, Oak Shadows Place. We have a tornado warning right now active. It is radar indicated, but we do have a tornado warning active right now for Baton Rouge, the kind of the northeastern part of Baton Rouge here. So higher correlation coefficient showing up something possible right here. Definitely a lot of population is in this zone here, in this box right here. So let's pay attention to this one closely. Baton Rouge, once again, is under a tornado warning. So if you're just tuning in, and you live in Baton Rouge or the eastern part, we have a tornado warning right there in that area. And then also Jackson, we have an area for you guys observed as well for that velocity signature. We're not seeing, let me go over here to the Jackson radar. Definitely seeing a little bit of something, or we did a little bit earlier here, not seeing it as much now. But we do have some major issues. Baton Rouge right now under a tornado warning. That is our one of the biggest concerns right now, is that Baton Rouge is under it. And this is kind of in the downtown, or the northeastern part of Baton Rouge here. So the northeastern part of Baton Rouge, we have that tornado warning active for a very large storm that's kind of just hanging out over here in the western part, or really in the downtown Baton Rouge area, the city of Baton Rouge. Seems like we're seeing a lot of that. So we're going to get this out there, and we're going to see if what we can do. So right now, Baton Rouge, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning here at this time. We're continuing to pay attention to this active severe weather outlook right now. Tornado warning radar indicated still here for Baton Rouge. So now we got Jackson and Baton Rouge under this tornado, under a tornado warning here. Possible rotation sitting in here right just west of Denham Springs here. And then we also could possibly be seeing, if we head over to the correlation coefficient, possible maybe some debris actually. So we might be having a possible tornado here on the ground. We might be seeing it. Oh, okay. So it could have been on the ground for just a little bit, it seems. It seems like we could have just had that for a little bit there. Let's see if we can take a look. Kind of what are we looking at here? So just getting everything still kind of set up here. So right now, if you're just tuning in and you do have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat below. I will try to answer them to the best I possibly can. But let's go through it. Lafayette, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. Baton Rouge right now in that pink polygon just on the eastern side of Baton Rouge is under a tornado warning there. And then we can see Jackson is also under that tornado warning. And these are stretching from all the way up to the northern part of I-55, stretching really far south here in parts of Mississippi. So a lot to be paying attention to here as we go on throughout the next couple of hours. We still have that severe weather threat as we go on throughout the rest of the night, as we've had tornado watches being issued for the eastern part of Mississippi and parts of even the Florida Panhandle and Alabama. So, but let's go back over here to Jackson, because I know we did have something on the ground earlier with that, and it doesn't seem like we're having too much kind of going on right now in the Jackson area anymore. But we did, and I know that is true. We did have that. So there is that tornado, I would say. Right here would be the tightest rotation down here north of Georgetown. This could be heading up to the northeast once again. So once again, heading for Highway 49. Highway 49 needs to be paying attention to the storm very closely here, because we are dangerously seeing a possibility of a tornado right here on the ground, heading for Highway 49 just north of Georgetown. So let's take a look at the correlation coefficient. Not much going on as of right now, but we'll definitely see if that rotation tightens up maybe a little bit more. And now we have a brand new tornado warning right here just south of Mobile, and this actually could be possibly heading for Mobile, so we're going to pay attention to this one very closely as well. So radar indicated this tornado right here. Take a look at the velocity, very strong rotation right now here just south of Mobile. So very populated area that this storm is headed through right now. Very populated. This is a radar indicated rotation, but very strong tight rotation it does seem like, and we were talking about this earlier here. So let me take a look here and see how fast is this storm moving. This is moving northeast at 20, so not moving quickly at all. So we're going to take a look here at this, and we're going to draw this out and see how long it could take for these storms to arrive. So it says population 0, but we can see Alabama Port, Mon Lewis. I think we have some populations in these areas here. So definitely, if you live in any of these areas, you are in the path of the storm. Let's take cover immediately here. Taking a look at the correlation coefficient, possibly maybe a little bit of debris here off to the right side. Right there by maybe State Route 193. We could be dealing with something pretty dangerous here on the ground, heading inland here from the water. So pretty big water spout probably going on right now. But once again, if you live in Mobile, Alabama, we want to keep an eye out obviously on you guys, because this storm will eventually make its way up here to the northeast here probably in the next hour. So we'll keep an eye out obviously on that very closely here, as that is a major tornado possibly on the ground here. Baton Rouge, let's go back over to you, as you guys have a tornado warning for your northeastern quadrant of the city here, and kind of the eastern as well. So the suburbs are in a tornado warning here for Baton Rouge. Radar indicated this tornado. Let's take a look at the velocity signature, see if we see anything clear. Not as much as we did earlier. We did see a little bit more of a clear rotation a little bit earlier. Correlation coefficient, not too much going on as of right now, I would say, but definitely pay attention to that, as we do want to keep an eye out obviously on that. And then Jackson, we're still paying attention to that possibility for an observed tornado still continuing on in this region. And Jackson, I will say, you guys just got hammered through a lot of the storms right there in the past 15-20 minutes. These storms are moving pretty quick now, and we are seeing, the storms just flying through. So you're still dealing with some rainfall and a little bit of the storms on the eastern part of the city here, but, still, once again, you got out of one of the biggest parts of it, which was those gusty winds. But here's that tight rotation down here, just down to the south. This is to the east of Georgetown, not as tight as it was. Probably just northeast of Georgetown. Once again, this is going to cross over Highway 49 here pretty soon. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very closely as well. as of right now, I would say our biggest threat right now would be paying attention here to this tornado warning right here near Baton Rouge, and then this one by Mobile. So let's go back over here to the Mobile one, see what we're seeing, if we got any updates coming in here, because that was a very tight rotation. See, where in the world is that radar site again? There it is. You know, you have the gray map, it blends in apparently, but all right, let's take a look here at what we're dealing with here. So very Mobile, Alabama, you guys, you know, paying attention to the storm, because if it keeps moving up to the northeast and is a strong storm, we're going to anticipate a possibility for a tornado on the ground then. Taking a look here at the velocity signature, very, very tight storm here. You can clearly see that right there. Very tight storm heading right up to the northeast. Now, this is, I believe, over the water kind of still, but we're going to be paying attention to this still, as it is even above the water. This will be heading inland, so we're going to keep an eye out on that very closely here. So we still have a couple tornado warnings that we're paying attention to. We have a brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued up here for the north. For the northern part over here, or, you know, kind of close to Philadelphia here. Let's take a look at the velocity. Not much I see. Not a clear velocity signature here, but definitely wanting to pay attention here to some of these tornado warnings, especially this one, because this could be headed right for a city here in the future. And we were paying attention to this one not too long ago. Radar's all freezing up on me. So we have several warnings active right now. This is a lot more than when I was live earlier. So still paying attention to this. So we're paying attention right now here to this tornado warning down here in Mobile. I'm going to tweet this out really quickly here. So there we go. So heading back in, sorry for all the pauses here, just getting it out and tweeting it out here for you guys. So welcome. If you're just tuning in or anything like that, let's make sure we're staying tuned in and information right now. The tornado warning has been expired here for Baton Rouge, it seems, so no more tornado warning there for Baton Rouge, but continuing to see maybe those storms continuing on in the eastern part of the city, so the suburbs area. Jackson, let's take a look at them. Still under that observed tornado warning here. Haven't exactly got any new update here, but something to pay attention to here. So I would say I mean, if you head down here to the south, once again down to the northeastern part here of Georgetown, or right to the just east of Harrisville. Very, rotation trying to form up in there. That could be something that we're paying attention to with that tornado warning. I think that's what the National Weather Service is going to be paying attention to as well. Nothing too clear on the correlation coefficient there. Let's head back down right now here, back to this tornado warning here near Mobile. This one has a very tight rotation on it. 32 minutes remaining on this one. We don't have any new update on this one. And this one possibly, I mean, if the rotation is still pretty strong, we could be seeing something here. And there it is right now. So there's that possibility for a tornado right now coming inland now from the water and pushing up to the northeast. So very, very big questions on the table still. If this will last very long when it gets onto land. I think it's, yeah, so it's still a little bit offshore here. And yeah, so there's no damage right now, but this is a little bit offshore still, so we're going to keep an eye out on that as this continues to move ashore. So if that continues being strong, we will pay attention to that. And we actually have a brand new tornado warning right now active here. This one was just issued, 46 minutes remaining in this one. Let's talk about this tornado warning here that's just been issued. So taking a look at this tornado warning right here, I haven't got it on that radar. This is Franklinton, Tylertown, Kentwood. You guys are getting this right now. Velocity signature. Let's see if we can see some type of clear rotation. Maybe something right here. Get my pen right there. We could have something right in here. Maybe something right up here as well. A little bit of a broad rotation up there. Go to the correlation coefficient. Nothing's on the ground with this one. Maybe there's something a little bit back there, but nothing too big to concern about. But right now, if you are in a tornado warning or even a severe thunderstorm warning, take cover immediately. We have a lot paying attention to right now as we have several tornado warnings stretching really from the north all the way down here to the south here, and then one right here in Alabama that possibly could be pushing up into Mobile, Alabama. So something to be paying attention to here over the next coming of hours. We're going to be seeing these tracks continuing on with the severe weather threats. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely. Let's head back to Mobile, Alabama here and keep an eye out on this tornado warning really quickly here. So the velocity signature kind of staying the same here, it seems, but pretty tight rotation still continuing on in this region right here. So let's kind of draw this out once again. I can't remember exactly how fast the storm was moving, so let's take a look at how fast the storm is moving. Yeah, moving northeast at 26 miles an hour. No, 20 miles an hour, sorry. 20 miles an hour, so we're going to draw this out and see kind of what we're dealing with here. 20 miles an hour is how fast the storm is moving. Population 0, but the question is that actual true? But radar indicated this tornado right there. So radar indicated this tornado, tight rotation kind of still going on, and this is going to be heading ashore pretty soon here. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very closely here. Very closely, just in case that, emerges itself and possibly becomes an issue when it gets on land. That's the big question. So we have some of these severe thunderstorm warnings that have these tornadoes possible, but majority of these warnings are tornado warnings right now. We have more tornado warnings than severe thunderstorm warnings, yes. So yeah, more tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So let's go through each tornado warning. Might as well, right? All right, let's start off here with the northern part one right here. This is really including Durant West, Lexington. You guys are getting some pretty strong storms right now if you live in Lexington. Durant West, you guys are getting ready to have those dangerous winds start to move ashore here. You guys only have a radar indicated rotation there. Let's see. Nothing too clear here. Maybe something by Pickens. Right there could be having a little bit of a tight rotation in there. Then head down over here, radar indicated with that one, and we actually have a brand new tornado warning here. Radar indicated this one, and yep, that one has been issued right now, and this one also. So we have two new warnings right here. This is the storm that was in Jackson here. This is including Interstate 20, Forest there, and Maggie. So let's take a look here at the velocity signatures on this one, because we know that we do have possibly down here in this more of a southern one. Sorry, there it is. We have a broad rotation kind of sitting in this one right here, but a little bit of a tight rotation kind of sitting in there. So that could be bringing up something right there to bring up this tornado warning right here. And then kind of in this, area right here, you can see these little yellow areas. We see a little bit of those rotations that were kind of associated with some of that earlier. We saw a little bit of those, the green and the reds mixing. But I'm not seeing any clear rotation, like right off the bat, that, you could just pick up really easily. Not seeing any of that, but, the National Weather Service has issued 2 new tornado warnings there. And then we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued just over here. So if you do live in New Orleans as well, we want to keep an eye out on New Orleans, because it does seem like we're going to be having some storms heading for the New Orleans probably later on tonight. It probably won't be as bad as some of these other places, but Still could be expecting some pretty big storms there in New Orleans later. If you have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat below. I appreciate everyone here trying to get as many people as we can so we can inform a lot of people to know that these tornado warnings are not a joke. All right, so we have an update here with the Alabama tornado warning here. Right now, it does seem like the rotation is on the Alabama port now, so it has made itself on land. So we have an on-land tornado right now. It does seem like it's going to continue to move off here, possibly back into the Mobile Bay. So far in the water, it's had a great time. And it doesn't seem like we have too much debris. I don't think we have really debris going on right now. But this will eventually make its way more inland here and possibly back into the Mobile Bay. So the question obviously is will Mobile get impacted by the storm? That's a big question. But as of right now, the storm's kind of just pushing off over here to the northeast. So a little bit to be paying attention to there. And we'll just continue watching that closely as we go on, because I think that's going to be our main issue right now. So Lafayette, you guys are getting out of the storms, so you guys won't have as much to worry about. So we're going to keep an eye once again out on this, and make sure if you guys do have any questions, just leave it down in the chat below, especially if you guys live in any of these areas. And if you do know anyone that lives in these areas that are dealing with this tornado threat, make sure to send this to them so they can get the weather information that they need. So we're going to keep an eye out on this very closely. It does seem like there's a tornado possible over here to the most northern severe thunderstorm warning. You can definitely see very strong storms in here, that pink and purplish, and they're very strong storms there. We're going to take a look here and see if we can get the velocity. So very strong winds that we could probably see in here, 50-60 mile an hour winds with that storm, as that will continue to push off over here to the east. So we're going to keep an eye out on this very closely for any possible tornado. Let's actually pull up the tornado watch really quick to see what we're looking at here with the tornado watch. All right, so this is the tornado watch zone. We kind of can see it's a little bit, I don't know why I just drew it like that, but tornado watch right here, you can clearly see this does include in parts of the Florida Panhandle, the most western part of the Florida Panhandle. So Pensacola, you guys are in this zone right there for a tornado watch as well. Taking a look at this one expires in 1 hour and 38 minutes, a PDS tornado watch here. This is the PDS tornado watch that has also been issued for northern part here of Mississippi. That will expire in about 3 hours and 38 minutes. Then we had a little bit more of a southern one. So the one in Florida, Alabama here, and a little bit off to the south into New Orleans as well. You guys won't be getting onto this tornado watch until 6.5 hours from now. So a little while to go with that. Oh, excuse me. And then I don't think we'll see any more extensions really, unless the storms are really, just really ramping up still. But as of right now, we've kind of stable with the tornado warnings. But still, once again, we have too many tornado warnings as of right now. I do want to bring out this one though really quickly here. Let's take a look at this. The Alabama tornado warning right now, just south of Mobile here. Look at this. We can clearly see here on this radar. We can clearly see a nice, inflow notch here. That's kind of where that tornado will be located right there, sitting kind of in that area right there. So I don't know why there we go. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, so there's that inflow notch. So we're going to see that possibility here with the velocity signature. Yep, so the tornado is right over the Alabama port right now. So the tornado is over the Alabama port, and we're going to continue seeing that tornado over the Alabama port. As of right now, we're going to see it continuing on here. It's a water spout that did emerge onto land. That is what it seemed like as of right now. So we don't have any new tornado warnings at this moment. Waiting for any updates here from the tornado warnings here. And speaking of that, we actually just got a brand new tornado warning update here. Yeah, so we're gonna see if this one continues on in the Mobile Bay. We'll keep an eye out on that one very closely. One of the outliers of the storms, the ones that just too far from its original place there. We're gonna keep an eye out obviously on that here, and then the strong storms right over here. To the northeast part of Baton Rouge. So, still, we have a lot to be paying attention to here as we go on throughout the rest of the day, and throughout the rest of the night as well. We have a lot that we are paying attention to. I mean, it's just a lot going on. That is for sure. We got a lot going on, so we're going to keep an eye out on some of these as well, and just see if we have any new tornado warnings here at this time. Not seeing any. Let me just make sure. But not seeing too much of differences going on right now here. But so it seems like Mobile, Alabama still, we're going to keep an eye on that one as it's more, starting to weaken a little bit as it has come on land. It was a water spout, did come in from the ocean, and possibly heading into the Mobile Bay. Yeah, so that is going to be something. It's heading into Mobile Bay. Have any new tornado warnings? I think we're still continuing on with the same tornado warnings here. So no major differences here. Let's see what we can take a look here at the velocity signature near Jackson. The strong storms near Jackson have kind of gone. Maybe some rotation kind of near here over northeast of Mendenhall. Could be seeing some of that strongest rotation there. And then this one near Mobile, Alabama Port, seems like the thing might be getting a little stronger here as it starts to head back into the waters. Could be seeing something different there as we see that continues to push off to the northeast. The question is, does it impact Mobile? So we're going to keep an eye out on that. So, hope you guys all, you guys are staying tuned. Make sure to follow my X page down in the description, though, for, on my YouTube bio to keep updated with all the storms. So, I'll see you guys in the next video or the next live stream. I'll see you guys then.